Poet May Sarton wrote, "We have to dare to be ourselves, however frightening or strange that self may prove to be." For all of us, becoming ourselves can be a challenge when we find ourselves needing to speak our deeper truth. That can be frightening. We may know it may cause pain to others. Our values may be different from our families, and we have to name this. We may need to end a relationship that we no longer fit into, or make a drastic change in our lives. Being ourselves can be risky for all of us at times. And yet that risk comes with reward, the reward of being true to our deepest self, of being known as who we really are, being loved just as we are. And we know the value, as we know the value of daring to be ourselves. The foundation of our theology rests on each person having inherent worth and dignity, just as we are. And our theology calls each of us to the search for truth and meaning. And that search includes going within and acknowledging and honoring and speaking our own truth. And it's not always easy for any of us. But for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, non-binary people, it is a much greater risk, as Kathleen shared previously. The price can be high. And as a straight white woman, I have the privilege of forgetting that sometimes. After all, we've had marriage equality here in Canada for years. And yet I know that even here, transgender teens are at a proportionately high risk of suicide, facing high rates of harassment and bullying. Trans adults face discrimination in the workplace, and many LGBTQ people still pay a high price for just being themselves, or simply aren't truly honored and recognized. Still a work in progress. And that work that's still to be done is the work of us as people of the chalice. We are an officially welcoming congregation, one of every single congregation across this country, as the video showed. We've all done that work of the UU program to be a LGBTQ plus inclusive space. We wear our pronouns on our name tags at church, and we lift up the rainbow flag. But it's not mission accomplished. There's more to do. More to protect the rights of the LGBTQ plus, more learning to do about the full spectrum of gender and sexuality. More work to be done to be truly welcoming, intentionally and consciously inclusive, so that all feel welcome, not just people who look like us. Our rainbow flag can sometimes feel a little monochromatic. And I know I haven't always done this work myself, and I am still learning and failing and learning some more. This past winter, I was able to take a UU course called Transforming Hearts about trans inclusion. It was a really fabulously done course done by two young queer UUs, and it helped me see that we are really heading into a new world, a new culture. Younger generations are learning to understand their gender identity and sexual orientation in much more open and fluid and accepting ways. Male and female identities are part of a spectrum, not essential expressions of biological fact. It's freeing and exciting and a little bit intimidating to understand. This new world of genderqueer and gender fluid and non-binary is a good one. It's a UU world. It's truly a celebration of the rainbow, where people aren't restricted by gender norms and social expectations, but can explore themselves as they wish to and love who they love and dress as they please. Think of Jonathan with his mustache and skirts on the Netflix show Queer Eye. This is a world that opens up possibility for all of us. And it's a world that we want as UUs. It's the world where everyone can be themselves openly and proudly and without fear. It's where the rainbow flag flies high with all of the colors. One of our aspirations as Canadian Unitarian Universalists is to be radically inclusive. And so it becomes our work to each one of us to help create a truly welcoming congregation where difference is embraced with love. And we don't always get it right. We try and we struggle, we fail, we'll make mistakes, but it's important to keep on with this work. And so this fall, we continue with our communal work in nurturing inclusivity. And I encourage each of you over this summer to learn more about these new paradigms of gender and identity. Check out the Transforming Hearts Collective website. Look up LGBTQ+ resources at the Unitarian Universalist Association website. Support the rainbow and pride and say so. May we, each one of us, help create a world of love and justice where all people are free to find their own truths about who they are and who they love, where all people are free to be themselves, filled with that inherent worth and dignity. And I'm going to end with a reading for pride from an American colleague, Elizabeth Ketchum. And there is a repetitive sentence, so you're free to speak it with me as you hear it. It's may we live the spirit of pride while you stay on mute. With gratitude for the freedom to be our true, authentic selves, may we live the spirit of pride. With the courage that comes from challenging fear, may we live the spirit of pride. With sorrow for those who could not be with us today, and in honor of those who died of AIDS or who lost their lives, may we live the spirit of pride. With grief for those whose pain was unbearable and who left us too soon, may we live the spirit of pride. Looking ahead to the justice still withheld, may we live the spirit of pride. With the confidence that a sense of community banishes isolation and loneliness, may we live the spirit of pride. With the rainbow flag flying high, a sense of beloved community among us, and the joy that comes from making new connections, may we live the spirit of pride. So say we all.